Hello and welcome to Safety First, and this is our YouTube channel, which is called SafeTV. SafeTV is an educational and informative show where we talk about safety across all environments and industries. And I'd like to welcome our very first guests today, and this is Harold and Becky Cohn. They come from the AED Alliance, and welcome as our first guest to our show, SafeTV. So I wanted to ask the first question, which is, what is the AED Alliance?
Well, it's our nonprofit organization that we set up shortly after we lost our 15-year-old son Andrew during the baseball game. Just a slight collision, Tuck, so shouldn't have resulted in his death, but it was at the right millisecond that caused Andrew's heart to go into a abnormal heart rhythm, and only a shock from a defibrillator or an AED, automated external defibrillator, could have saved him. Okay. It's an electrical event, Tux. It's not the same as a heart attack. It's only a shock can cure. Chest compressions alone won't work. And so we went to a crash course about defibrillators and AEDs and sudden cardiac arrest, and found out it's the #1 killer in use in the United States. We lose 7,000 to 10,000 kids. And these kids look perfectly healthy. We've got some pictures of them. They're supposed to be here. It's the #1 killer in schools, and it's also the #1 killer in the nation. We lose up to 450,000 people each year to cardiac arrest. And incredibly, the chances of survival are as high as 90% if a defibrillator is available within the first 3 to 5 minutes.
Oh, that's a lot.
Yes, but chances decrease 10% every minute thereafter. So when you consider the average 911 response time in the nation as being 10 to 12 minutes, it's crucial that we have these devices where they're needed most in schools and public facilities, so we can get them resuscitated without risk of brain damage as well.
Okay.
The most interesting thing about them is anybody can use them. They're easy to be trained on, and they won't shock or hurt anybody by mistake.
Right. And if you get the proper training, in that, then you'll be able to help somebody, which is great. So why was the AED Alliance formed?
Well, we needed to reach out and give back. We were surrounded with so many people helping us with love and support. A lady called from Pennsylvania who had heard about it. She lost her son, Rachel Moria, in Pennsylvania in 2000. He was playing basketball and then collapsed at halftime. And Greg suffered from an enlarged heart, which is probably the biggest cause of heart to misfire when it's under exertion. These kids are perfectly healthy, but we can't always see what's going on inside of them.
Right.
And so that was Greg's cause of his cardiac arrest. Other cases involve what they call long QT syndrome, which is a circuitry misfire when the heart goes under exertion. So Andrew's case was very rare, but they said his chances were as high as 98% because he didn't have a pre-existing condition and he didn't have any damage from the collision. It just needed to be restarted. So,
and that's unfortunate.
Oh, and I meant to finish if I could. Rachel told us that she had vowed not to put a marker on Greg's gravesite until there was at least one AED in every public school. That affected us, and we said we've got to grab on the coattails here. Let's get an organization going and let's make this happen. And we don't want to be talking about this 12 years from now. We want to get the job done, and we need people like you and viewership to help us reach out, and let's get a national health care issue solved here.
Right, and so one of the questions that we want to go ahead and let our audience know is how are you both educating the public about the AED Alliance?
Well, the first constraint is awareness.
Right.
A national survey we did said 84% of the population has no idea what an AED is. I don't begrudge them. We were the same.
Right.
So we need to get people like Tux, all forms of media, to get the word out, to first educate people about it. So all venues, social media, We've got our national billboard campaign.
Okay.
Thanks to Clear Channel Outdoor and Lamar Advertising, we've got a national billboard awareness campaign going. Thank goodness for Firehouse Subs Public Safety Foundation.
Right.
When we learned about there was an AED locked up in the school next to Andrew, it kind of stung us because we thought that was kind of an oxymoron, that we've got these tax-paid-for devices that are portable and locked up. So we need them mobilized. Well, that gave birth to the AED Alliance borrow plan, where church groups, travel ball teams, anybody that gathers, youth groups, they can go to their local fire and rescue and borrow an AED for free to safeguard themselves and people they come in contact with. So Firehouse Subs gave us that grant, and Camden County has the first public borrow an AED program in the nation that won some national recognition awards, and now we have a borrow plan in a county in Arizona that we established, as well as there's one in California and Pennsylvania. So that's another one of our goals, along with having an AED in every public school by 2014, is to have a borrow plan in each 3,141 counties in the United States as a milestone and a foundation to build on.
Well, you know what, that's a lot. That's a lot that needs to be, brought to the forefront. And one of the ways that I was able to find out about the AED Alliance was the billboard. I will give you an example, such as at Phillips and Bay Meadows, as I was sitting at the light. If you want to go ahead and hold up one of your signs here, I saw this, and it literally shows the different students in and around the nation who died from sudden cardiac arrest and the lack of AEDs. So as this billboard was going up, this is how I found you. We have so far started a great partnership about trying to get the word out about AEDs and getting certified in CPR. So as it went to a national level, and as we're trying to do that throughout the nation, where are the most likely places that you would like to have AEDs located?
Well, obviously in schools. That's where our kids spend a third of their lives.
Right.
And also in public facilities where people gather. Those are the first two places. We'd like them everywhere.
Sure.
And there are positive stories. We have Kylie Shea, who was our spokesperson, that was shocked back to life and caught on her school surveillance camera.
And this is her right here?
This is her.
Okay.
And she's going to, we created we brought an AED to life, like the Disney animation, the Brave Little Toaster, and her name is AEDiva.
Okay.
And that's another way we're trying to...
And I see that you have this right here.
Yes, yes. So AEDiva is the next superheroine and hopefully the Smokey Bear icon for the AED advocacy awareness, to reach out to people to get AEDs in schools. And so, yes, we got to understand there are success stories for cardiac arrest and people are saved, but we got to remember at the same time that's 8% of the survival rate.
Right.
And according to Center for Disease Control, American Heart Association, other sources, facilities that have public access to AEDs have a 74% resuscitation rate. So as you can imagine, Tux, what would it be like if we're saving 74% of 10,000 kids each year, and 74% of 450,000 people each year? That's a good success story that we need to transition to.
Right.
And Tux, you talked about where we'd like to see them most, and obviously the schools and facilities where people gather.
Yes, ma'am.
Recreation facilities, but these AEDs are mandated in state buildings, Capitol buildings, federal buildings, which means our prisoners are better safeguarded than our children right now.
Wow. That's an unbalanced statistic that we hear right there. And so, how would you like to most reach effectively, folks about the AED and the AED Alliance and all your efforts?
Well, go ahead.
Well, no, go ahead. I think with the billboard campaign and the creation of AEDiva for the national icon.
And go to our website. The best way to remember that is go to www.shocktolife.org.
And we have that right here.
Yep.
Okay, I'll put this up.
.com, And any amount of donation, you just don't know what $5 or $50 or $500 can put another AED into someone's hands, and for a borrow plan, and that's just helping citizens save lives, which is not common and needs to be common. So we reach out that way, and also contact your state's Health and Human Services committee, and beg them to get involved and pass some kind of legislation to, whether it be over a year or 2 or 3 years, but have plans to deploy these things, get them where they are needed most, and turn tragedies into triumphs is what needs to happen.
All right. So other than that, are there any closing remarks or anything else you want to say about the AED Alliance and what we've talked today here for our first episode of SafeTV?
Well, I want to thank you, Tux, for having us, and your ministry is off to a great start, and that's a life-saving ministry.
Thank you.
So we are just honored to be on your first program, and hope it garners you many more future life-saving programs. And your wife has been awesome, and very engaging. So you've got a good support group. People just need to have ingrained in society that when somebody collapses, what do? You call 911, get the AED, and be prepared to perform CPR. And so those are the 3 steps that, don't assume they're having a seizure or anything like that, or a nosebleed. It's better be safe than sorry, because believe me, sudden cardiac arrest is an understatement when you see it unfold, and it just needs to be like stop, drop, and roll. Saving a life is as easy as AED.
Right, exactly.
And AED needs to be as well known of an acronym as CPR also.
Right, absolutely. Well, I want to thank you for being here on our show as our first guest for SafeTV. And other than that, this is Tux Stocker reporting from SafeTV, which is part of Safety First and CPR and safety training. So thank you, Harold and Becky Cohn.
Thank
you, really appreciate it. And again, Safety First, we always keep your safety first. Thank you.